Jay and I both have wanted this for a while, and it's kind of a tough question to ask, but do you think Islam fits with Western culture?
I think that Islam, that is, as it's practiced in Muslim-majority countries where Islam is the basis for everything in life, meaning your whole constitution is the Sharia law.
Right.
And the fact that Sharia law is very different than Western law. It says, if you're a Muslim, these are your rights. And if you're anything else, you're down here. So from the get-go, you have a system that works against anyone who's not in that particular religion. So when you understand that, you realize, no, Islam or Sharia law inherently is not democratic.
Yeah.
When you're categorized by your religion, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And then when you don't allow people the freedom to choose their religion, so if you tell Muslims, you must always be Muslim. You cannot be agnostic, atheist, or anything else by threat of death. That's obviously also a problem.
Well, it's interesting, and I'm going to horribly paraphrase this, but I was reading recently this scholar in like 1880s, and he's given a lecture in Oxford, and he was talking about this religion fitting in around the world, and he said that it will never work because of when Muhammad died, he left no room for growth. For as societies grow, you adapt to them and you grow with them, and it kind of just ended there. And so to be a true living in Islam and Sharia, there's no room for that to grow. It is what it is. It stays there. So you can't really call yourself a part of that religion if you try to alter it. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes. I think that's pretty accurate. And so a lot of people will say, yeah, but my Muslim next door, they're the nicest person. And they are. They're fabulous.
Yeah.
But for those who don't want to practice Islam, they can never, they're really not allowed to announce formally or officially, like, I no longer believe this. It's just not permitted in Islam at its core.
A troubling lack of flexibility.
Yeah. And when you see it spreading throughout, Europe, and there's some horrible stories there. And I never know how much to believe, how much the media is spinning a story to sensationalize it. But boy, it doesn't. Some of the images and some of the scenes,
no-go areas in Belgium and Germany and so forth.
Awful. It sounds awful.
Right. When I see that, when I see places or when I'm traveling in Europe and I'm in areas where suddenly I'm scared because I see guys who are acting as like Sharia advocates, telling women what they can and cannot wear in the street or trying to prevent you to going certain areas, that just makes my skin crawl because I've experienced that in the Middle East, and they're trying to bring that into Europe, and that's a problem.
Not to get too political, but the Trump travel ban goes to this very issue, and it's this vetting process that you went through. You know how hard it was and how painstaking you guys had to go through all the painstaking steps. Is that something that the public should be concerned about? Is our government currently able to vet these people properly?
So the answer is no, we're not able to vet properly, and I'll tell you why. Very few people in the U.S. government even know what vetting is or how to do it. Wow. It is a very specialized skill set that requires substantive expertise. The problem, it doesn't matter what administration you're talking about, they all use this word vetting. None of them have any idea what it is.
Yeah,
and I don't believe in adding extra layers to an already inefficient bureaucratic process that doesn't work. We have to make that process smoother, quicker, and we need to hire people and train people with the skill set to do that. And we are not there. We're not even anywhere close to that.
You're outnumbered.
Right now.
You're so far outnumbered. It's just not possible when you're talking about taking in hundreds of thousands of refugees or something. And I wonder if the problem is what we've all seen our entire lives is what Hollywood displays. Hollywood shows us what the FBI is like, what the CIA is like, and they're always one step ahead of everybody. They're always right at the right spot. They've always got the perfect shot. They've got the save button. And it's just so not real. But I think we're all programmed to think that's why it's like, oh yeah, you think of the CIA as some almost not human level.
All knowing.
Yeah, all knowing. And
yes. Well, and then you get in, you realize how very wrong that is.
Yeah. How much do you rely on your?
Just to give you.
No, go ahead, Michelle. Sorry.
I was going to say, that the foundation of our vetting process in the U.S. government is running name traces. So to quickly educate listeners on this, so fascinating. If you've got people tracing Arabic names that have been transliterated into English, and they don't know the various transliterations, and each government agency has their own standards that don't match, then essentially you don't have people running traces that know how to even do a trace properly.
Perfect.
That's really the bottom of vetting.
I feel safe.
You have to train people.
And how many times can you vet Muhammad Abdul Muhammad
In preparation
Muhammad,
for this
Abdul.
book, I Googled Abu
Right.
Muhammad.
Yeah, Abu Muhammad.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
like it's like good luck. There's 8 billion of them.